Hello everyone, it's Jessica and I am back with another scrapbook process video for you for day 20 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And this sketch is by Isabel Alvarado, and this is a pretty different sketch from my style, so I did struggle with it just a bit until I decided to use some of my alcohol inks. So I've pulled out my American Craft alcohol inks and I am using the colors Pool and Peacock. So I decided to create kind of like a bubbly water effect on the two sides with the clusters that look like florals in the sketch. But I am just creating kind of a water effect to go with my photos of these sea lions that we were watching at the zoo this past September. So what I'm doing is I am just using alcohol inks and just dabbing them on there, using the dropper bottles, and I'm using the alcohol blending solution with it just to kind of spread them around and work them in a little bit. And I add quite a bit to my acetate sheet first before I get the blowing tool out, because I wanted to have kind of a lot of product on there before I try to move it around. So I did mix them in a little bit with the blowing tool, as you can see here, and I'm just kind of like working them around to get a bubbly water look effect. And I like how it turns out. I think it looks pretty cool. And instead of using those florals on the sketch, this is what I've come up with. So I do really like these alcohol inks. It adds such a pretty dimensional layer to your pages. And you can stamp over top of this with archival black ink. You can stamp underneath of it. So lots of options here. And I'm just going to set that aside to let it dry a little bit. You can see the static. My picture's actually stuck to it. But I've already cut this sheet down from, I believe I've used Simple Stories Sunkissed collection, and I'm just matting my photos with some smooth white cardstock. And I've taken that kind of wavy looking paper and cut it down to size, and I've actually cut it in that wave design. I was going to add some border strips to it in some wavy with my wavy border punch, but I decided not to. I wanted to keep it simple underneath. I didn't want to take away from the alcohol inks on the acetate sheet too much, so I just left it alone. So I'm just taking some of the papers in the collection and matting my photos and distressing the edges here. And as you can see, this this sea lion was putting on quite a show for my son. They are so funny. It's one of our favorite things at the zoo to watch. And this sea lion, whether it's a girl or a guy, I'm not sure, but it's so comical to watch. So I'm just going to, I actually stuck my pictures down, but I'm actually going to peel them back up, as you can see, because I want to do some stamping around this. I remember that I have a bunch of bubble stamps, so I want to make it look like a kind of a bubbly background here. So I'm just pulling out some of my stamps from wish.com, and actually I recently found it on Amazon as well. So I'll see if I can find that, and I'll link it below for you. And this other little one is from Alt New. So I just love this. I'm just stamping randomly here in the background. It's not perfect. There's no rhyme or reason, just kind of getting those around where my photos are going to sit. And I'm using distress oxides in evergreen bough, Mermaid Lagoon, and black soot. So I'm loving adding these little bubblies to the page. And I actually could have added a little bit more on the right side, but it's okay. I kind of like the randomness of it, so it's not really supposed to be absolutely perfect. So I think it's fine. And then I am going to bump this up just a tad. I'm just laying that down so I can see where it needs to go with my photos. And I use the clear acetate sheet with the alcohol inks because alcohol inks will not work with porous regular cardstock paper. It just absorbs them and you can't get any movement to it. So you have to use either Yupo paper or clear acetate for the alcohol inks. I'm just going to add my title down now. I'm going to put Splashing Good Vibes because I feel like that's pretty accurate for what's going on here. This sea lion comes over and checks out my son and his tractor, and he's licking the glass. So it's pretty interesting.
Mama.
Yeah.
This is blue.
Yes.
That's my favorite color.
Yeah. Yes, it's a pretty color, huh? And there's Oliver dropping in to say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Good job, honey. So just putting my title down here, and I'm gonna add some little journaling strips and a couple embellishments, and that's pretty much gonna finish this up for me. I'm gonna stamp my date on this little tab.
Mom, can you get me a damper?
Yep. And then I'm just gonna pop a couple little things on here. I'm not gonna add too much to this because I don't want to take away from the alcohol ink. So I'm just gonna add a few little finishing touches, and then that will finish this up for me. So I hope you guys can play along in our Facebook group with us. I will link that below. It's Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. And you can play along anytime. It doesn't have to be just now during the actual month. You can play along after it's over as well, because the sketches will stay up in all of the albums, and you can add yours to the albums. And it's just something fun to do. Christy does this every quarter, I believe. So it's every few months. She posts 30 days of sketches that you can play along with. And I will also link all of the other creators below that are participating in this because they have a lot of inspiration out on YouTube as well. So there's quite a few of us for this round, and I will link them all for you so you can follow along. And again, I hope you can play along, and if you liked my video, please feel free to hit that subscribe button for me, and you can be notified of future videos that I post. And you can also follow me on Instagram as well for more inspiration, which I can put that below for you too. So I'm just like finishing this up. It's a pretty simple layout for me. I didn't really do too much with this one. It's just the alcohol inks. I wanted those to stand out and be kind of the main focus. So I didn't really add a whole lot to it. Here I'm just putting down my journaling strips, which I've printed out on my computer and my printer, and because sometimes I really hate my handwriting, so I didn't want to ruin this page with it. And then I am just sticking this down. Okay, buddy. And just making sure that they're straight with my T-square. And I'm just sticking those down with some glue dots that I have here. These are the micro-sized ones. They're my absolute favorite, and I go through a lot of them.
I want one of those.
So here is my finished layout. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and feel free to play along in our Facebook group. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!